And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. First and foremost, I do apologize for the audio. I am a horrible content creator, and I forgot to bring my headphones with me. I am currently on a layover in Portland, Oregon, so not an option to just randomly get some headphones. So first and foremost, I do apologize for the audio, but I did want to kind of talk about what is going on with the Pestilence event, or the Scourge event, whatever we're calling it these days. And just kind of, I guess, my overall strategy and kind of what I plan on doing for this event. So a couple of things I kind of wanted to talk about. You know, when you are looking at this event, it does seem like they have actually kind of reworked the shard rewards that you're going to get, and I didn't actually save the old shards, so I don't have that information, obviously, but at looking at this, and when we're looking at this here, it looks like now from rank 1 through 500, you are actually going to get enough shards to unlock a 7-star Morgan Le Fay. Then kind of scrolling a little bit further, looks like ranks 501 all the way down to 2500. So right over here, are going to be enough to get you a 6-star Morgan, and then 2500% down all the way to 8% is going to be enough to get you to 5 stars. And then it looks like pretty much 4 stars up until you get to right over here, the 31 to 40%. Below that, it is going to be a 3-star unlock, and you'll be just shy of a 4-star. So how I'm kind of coming up with these numbers, and this is obviously speculation, since there has not been exact word as to what these little new things are, but the way I'm interpreting this is that at this rank you are getting 20 times of these 15 Morgan Le Fay shards. That's kind of how I'm interpreting it. Whether or not this will be an orb that gives you basically 5 or 15 shards, I don't know. Or if this will be just something that you get, you know, an extra 300 shards. So, kind of, I guess, what I am shooting for, I would say in most legendaries, they become incredibly viable around the 5-star mark. So right off the bat, I am shooting for at least the 7 to 8% range. Obviously, the better you do, the more shards you're going to get, the more red stars. You know, for example, if you can bump up to 5 to 6%, you're looking at a 4 red star Morgan. And then I think it's actually pretty much 4-star all the way up until you get to like the crazy 1 to 50 rank, which I am not shooting for that on any of the 3 accounts. I don't think that's realistic unless you're a crazy heavy spender and you've got these crazy maxed out tunes, etc. But what I would say, kind of really a good point for most people, like I said, that 7 to 8% range will get you that 5-star Morgan Le Fay, which I think is going to be phenomenal. 3 red stars, which isn't bad, but if you are able to push yourself just a little bit higher in that 5 to 6% range, you're looking at a 4 red, which is definitely going to make a character a lot stronger as well. As this is a arena meta team, obviously the better you do on Morgan Le Fay, the better your arena meta is going to be, which in turn means more cores for you, and, you know, we've talked about that kind of at length. Now, some other things I kind of wanted to go over, and just to kind of talk about, I guess, while we're talking about this event. Obviously, the milestones, you know, they've added in some more gear, but as far as the actual pure milestones go, in order to unlock Morgan Le Fay, you're looking right here at milestone 17. It's not really been discussed, I guess, or shown to us how many points you're going to get for completing each node, and then what the Scourge multipliers are going to do. So that's something we'll definitely have to update once the actual event does begin. But I think as general, you should be aiming for at least this point, and that will at least get you Morgan Le Fay unlocked, and then based off of your ranked rewards, you can star her up to possibly 5 stars. So now, the leaderboards. Lots of controversy on this, obviously. I'm not going to go into that. That's not what this video is about. You know, we all have our opinions on the leaderboard system. But I did what I wanted to kind of draw to everyone's attention is I think that this leaderboard is going to be very reminiscent to how the Tower Mode leaderboard is. And we currently do have Tower Mode going on over here, so I just want to pull that up real fast. Or Avengers Tower, rather. And one thing I really do like about Avengers Tower is that the leaderboard... Of course, we get a little crash. Let's switch over to Mini real fast so we don't have to wait. When you are looking at the Avengers Tower leaderboard, it's actually live, up-to-date information. So it constantly refreshes, basically, as people are going through this. So you can kind of very easily figure out like where you are, at least in terms of like the top 100. You can't see like exactly where you rank, you know, all the way down to like the lower points, but you can get an idea roughly. You know, you look at the top 100, and those are going to be those people that are really going into this type of event, and you can kind of gauge like, oh, you know, I'm at, let's just hypothetically say 35,000 points. I'm actually in the top, you know, 200 maybe. And that kind of gives you an idea. So I do like the idea that the leaderboard for the Pestilence event will be live. At least that's kind of what I'm assuming. So that is kind of the shard breakdown. I did also want to talk about... you know, what's going on with the actual event. So I am going to transition over here to a different screen, and let's see. Bear with me just a minute, y'all. Apologize. All right, so let's see. All right, y'all, sorry about that. So we have transitioned over here to this cool little infographic, which I do have actually currently pinned in the Alliance General chat. And I do want to kind of talk about the kind of strategy, I guess, I'm going to be employing or imploring or whatever for this event. So when we're looking here, if you look at this actual event, it's kind of set up very similarly to, say, a Dark Dimension, where we're going to have this map, and you basically are making your way up the map. Now, I am going to talk about the teams. We'll talk about that. But what I wanted to kind of talk about is a starting point. Like, where do you start? Obviously, there's difficulty 1 through 10. Obviously, difficulty 10, you know, they recommend G19. That's obviously not even in the game yet. But where am I planning to start? And I would say a lot of the times, I think Scopely kind of overestimates these gear starting points. And a lot of the times, like the Doctor Strange Heartless event, the DSH event that's going on, I think for the last tier, they recommended like level 85, G16, you know, 66 or 776 or something crazy. And you obviously did not need that. You were able to do it a lot easier than that. So I think personally what I am going to try is I'm going to go kind of one gear tier above what most of my characters are at. So I think for me, I'm going to start on difficulty 7. I would say a majority of the characters I'm planning to take into this are in the G15 range. So I'm going to go through difficulty 7 and see if I can clear it. And if I'm able to clear it, no issues. I am going to try to maybe test myself, and then I'm going to go through difficulty 8. If I'm not able to fully complete difficulty 8, I'll drop back down to 7. And what's going to happen then is if I have to drop down back to difficulty 7, I'm going to start enabling Scourges. And it's kind of hard to say which Scourges will be getting enabled, as I am far too lazy to kind of look through data mines and even look at other things that people put out on the, I think there's like 40 Scourges. But the idea is you pick the highest difficulty that you can complete without an issue. So let's again hypothetically say difficulty 7, we are able to full clear it, but we're not able to full clear difficulty 8. So what we do is we'd go back down to difficulty 7, and we'd start, activating Scourges. And the goal is to activate as many Scourges as possible, because those are going to be point multipliers. And once you have all these Scourges enabled, it's going to multiply your points. Now, what Scopely has also said is if you get to the point where you can turn on every single one of the Scourges and still clear the difficulty with no problem, you technically should be doing a higher rank. So in that scenario, say we just right off the bat, we tried difficulty 6, we were able to do it, no problem, and we were able to turn on all 40 Scourges, we still cleared difficulty 6. Scopely is saying you should actually be able to do difficulty 7 with some Scourges activated. So with this being a 10-day event, I think it's really going to be a matter of kind of playing around with things. But kind of what I'm going to start with, just to kind of get a good baseline, is find out what difficulty I can complete without any Scourges. I think that's a good idea to go in with 0 Scourges and complete the difficulty. Once you complete the difficulty, like I said, jump down and try the next difficulty, see if you're able to clear it. If you're not able to clear it, that's when you backtrack back to the previous difficulty and start activating Scourges. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do. I'm going to start at difficulty 7, like I said, kind of one tier above what my current gear is, and see how I do. If I'm able to full clear it, like I said, I'm going to try difficulty 8 and see if I can full clear it. If I'm able to full clear it, I might drop down to difficulty 9. I'm not too sure. It's really kind of hard to gauge the difficulty until you actually play it. But once you find the difficulty that you're able to complete and not complete the next tier, that's when you're going to start playing around with your Scourges. And, you might, I don't know, I might start with 10 or 15 Scourges and just kind of see how it goes. You are able to kind of indefinitely reset these Scourge runs. So really, it's kind of just a matter of how much time do you want to invest in this. Again, I'm going to probably try to do things as efficiently as possible, so I don't think I'm going to attempt essentially 40 runs where I basically just activate 1 Scourge per run. That just sounds way too time-consuming. What I think I'll probably try to do is just activate, a bunch of Scourges, try to do it, and if I'm not able to do it, then I might just slowly kind of unclick a particular Scourge and try it again. So that's how I'm thinking the actual event is going to run. I will certainly do an updated video once the event does drop on Wednesday, so we'll do that as well, and kind of just see how much of this actually came to play, how much of it didn't. I also wanted to talk about the teams that are going to be required. So this infographic is currently pinned on the Alliance page, and I will add the this infographic as well to the actual infographic page. So let's hop back over in-game, and we'll hop on Kale over here now that Kale has reloaded, and I wanted to kind of sort through, I guess, who I'm planning to use. Once you get to difficulty 5, that's the only part of this infographic that's a little outdated. Difficulty 5 for nodes 5 and 10 are going to require either Dark Hunters or the Web Warriors. So that's the only thing that's inaccurate on the infographic. But the first node, right over here, it's Heroes. I think that's a real easy trait. What I'm planning to take in for Heroes, just because I know they have amazing sustain, and they are very well built for me, I'm going to take the Astonishing Axemen. or the Astonishing X-Men, rather. I think that's an easy no-brainer. It's a super, easy team to use, and, really no issues there. I'm also planning to use them for Node 3 as well. That's the only two, pure hero nodes. Next section we are looking at is actually going to be global. And the global, I think there's some good teams here as well. I think I'm going to really base it around Secret Avengers. So we've got Sharon Carter, Captain America Sam Wilson, or Cap Sam, Maria Hill. I think I'm going to bring Doom in there just because my Doom is pretty beefy. And then I think, honestly, for my last global character, I'm actually, because I'm trying to keep these traits semi-separate, but I think I'm going to bring in Shuri. And just because I'm thinking Shuri, she'll have those deflects, she'll have the defense up, she'll have a little bit bonus healing for when Maria isn't. And that's kind of, I guess, what I'm thinking. Global is going to be in nodes 2 and 4. So that's kind of who I'm planning to do for global. Next one is going to be essentially for nodes 5 and 10. And I mean, that kind of goes without saying. That's the Web Warriors and the Dark Hunters node. I'm planning to hopefully be able to just use the Web Warriors and just kind of have them steamroll everything. My Web Warriors are pretty built up. I've got Scarlet Spider and Ghost Spider both at G16, and the other 3 are at G15. So I'm hoping they're able to handle it. If not, I do have my Dark Hunters pretty well built as well, kind of just as a backup. And I'm thinking, if anything, I might need them for Node 10. Next, following that, is going to be the villain nodes. And the villain nodes, I think, is where things kind of get a little, interesting. I don't think there's not really a synergized villain team that I can kind of think of off the top of my head. But what I'm kind of thinking is, I'm thinking about kind of bringing just some top tier characters. So what I'm thinking is, I'm assuming my Doom is still going to be alive and well. So we're planning to bring Doom. I'm planning to bring in Omega Red. Lady Deathstrike, I think, as well, will kind of synergize well with Omega. She also has some really good damage. She's got some survivability. With that, I'm also planning to bring in Emma Frost, again, just to kind of slow down people. She's got a cleanse. And then I think I'm going to follow that up with Doc Ock. And I think that's going to be kind of who my base team is. Just kind of, what I'm thinking. The good thing, though, from what I can maybe tell, is that you can kind of maybe bring in multiple characters. I don't know if these nodes are going to be like Dark Dimension, where you can kind of slowly chip away at them, or if it's a kind of you have to complete it, and if you don't complete it, the enemies have full health again. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of one of those chip away, very similar to Dark Dimension. The last section, so these are nodes 8 and 9, the trait for that is going to be Cosmic, and I think a lot of us have very well developed Infinity Watch or iWatch. So I'm thinking right off the bat, I might take in Infinity Watch. Some alternatives, if I don't do Infinity Watch, I'm also thinking about Kestrel and the 2 Eternals, and then, maybe throwing in Deathpool and Silver Surfer. I think that'll be kind of another good combo. So yeah, I think that's kind of where I am as far as planning. I think I've kind of outlined how I am looking at this Scourge event. I think we'll have more information once the event actually does begin, and we can kind of talk more about the different Scourges, different strategies, can even go through and do a playthrough if y'all are interested. So I think that's pretty much all I have for the current Scourge event that's going to be upcoming, at least with the information that is currently available to us. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have not done so already, please feel free to like and subscribe. Hope everyone is having a good week. Any questions, comments, or concerns or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a good week and take it easy.